Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So let's study more few of the banking terms. And so first one is, what is bank assurance? It is the distribution of insurance product and insurance policy of insurance companies by the bank as a corporate agents to their branches. In this, the bank will be selling the insurance product and policies by acting as an agent on behalf of the insurance companies, and this bank will be charging fees for their services they provide. What is bouncing of check? Bouncing of check occurs when the account has insufficient funds and and the check is returned by the bank with the reason funds insufficiency or exits arrangement. So this is called bouncing of a check. What is bank rate? The rate at which banks borrow money from the RBI without selling any securities. It is called a bank rate. What is marginal standing facilities? It is a short-term borrowings facilities which is available to the scheduled commercial banks, and this facility is available only for a overnight. And the banks can avail these facilities by selling the government securities to the RBI, and this is mainly available when there is a severe shortage of cash or acute shortage of liquidity. So this is called marginal standing facility. What is base rate? It is the minimum rate which is set by the Reserve Bank of India to the banks who are lending the money, and below this base rate, the banks cannot lend money to the people. This is called base rate. What is called money market? It is a short loan which is provided for a very short period term, that is from 1 to 14 days, and it carries very low rate of interest. This is called call money. What is check? It is a check is written by an individual uh, for the purpose of transferring amount from one account of the same bank or different bank, and the money will be withdrawn from the account. We have many types of check, so let us learn one by one. So first check is bearer check. Bearer check, it means whoever is carrying or bearing the check will receive the amount from the bank, and in this the checks have the words or bearer printed in front of the payee. So this check issued can be either received by the payee or the bearer, and this will makes the bearer check transferable, as anyone who is carrying it will receive the payment, and the bank need not ask for the authorization of the issuer to make the payment of this check. So there is many risk in this bearer check, but the main thing is whoever is carrying the check will receive the amount. Next check is order check. This is second type of check. An order check is one that has the words or bearer cancelled out. In the bearer check, the words bearer will be written, but in the order check, the bearer will be cancelled out. It means the whose name will be mentioned will only receive the specified sum of money, but the bank will not check the identity whether this person is the same or the not before making the payment. So this is called order check. What is cross check? Cross check means this is another type of check in which two parallel lines will be on the top left corner of the check with the words account pay written on it. It means the sum will be paid to the uh, regardless who handling will only be transferred to the individual's organization whose name is mentioned pay. A cross check is also safer because it can be cashed only at the pay's bank. So this cross check is the safest type of check, and the one who is handling will only be the sum will be transferred to the individual organizers whose name is mentioned in the pay account. It is cashed only at the pay's bank account. So this is safest type of check. Crossed check. What is open check? An open check will not have a crossed lines, and hence this is called as uncrossed check too. An open check can be cashed either at the banks or the payer's bank or the payer's bank. It can be cashed anywhere. Also, an open check is transferable by the pay, which means they can make someone else the pay. Like they can transfer the open check to the other person too. The issuer of the open check is required to sign on both the front and back of the check. In this, the whoever is issuing will sign on the front of the check as well as the back of the check. So this is called open check. What is post-dated check? Post-dated check bears a date later than date it was issued on. Suppose if a check is issued today, but the date written on the check is after 5 days, so that is called post-dated check, and it can only be cashed after the date specified by the payer. Like if today, if the check is issued today, and if you are going to the banker to encash the check, it won't be encashed because the date mentioned will be the date after 5 days. So after completion of 5 days only, the check can be encashed. The postage check can valid for date after the mentioned date but not before it. Hence, even if it is present, bank will not process it until the mentioned date. So after the mentioned date only, the bank will process the check in case of post dated check. Next check is stale check. A stale check has already passed its validity and can no longer be cashed. So a, currently a check is considered until valid until 3 months from its date issue. Like like if the date of the check is 1st Feb 2022 is the last date of the check, and if you are going to the bank carrying the check on 3rd Feb 2022, then it is no longer valid and it cannot be encashed because the date validity of the check had already been passed, and so it cannot be encashed. What is traveler's check? This traveler's check is basically issued by the bank. This traveler's check is issued by the bank. It can be mostly helpful when you are traveling. Like if you are unable to carry the cash, so you can carry the traveler's check and it can be encashed at the another country of the bank, and the payment will be received in the country's currency. It becomes useful when you are mainly on a foreign trip and do not wish to carry too much cash. It does not have any expiry date. Traveler's check. What is self? A self check has the word self written on it. It is used by the issuer to withdraw money from their own bank account. If you are writing a check on self, that is called a self check. I think only at the where you are having the bank account, only there you can cash the self check because it is written on the self. Banker's check. A banker's check is issued by the bank itself. A bank issues a banker's check on behalf of the account holder to issue payment to another person in the same city. And this banker's check is valid only for 3 months. However, after their validity, they can be revalidated if certain conditions are fulfilled. So this is called banker's check. What is blank check? A blank check is the check that has the only sign of issuer and no other details. Only blank check has only the sign of issuer and no other details will be checked, and this carries a very high risk because if any person receives a check, they can fill the whatever amount they want and they can issue to themselves. So this is a risky kind of blank check. So this is risky. So blank check is a risky one. Thank you all. See you in the next class.